Brought the beef in here, man. We got a lot of these linemen over here with us tonight. Aiden Sanchez joining us, Chandler Rhodes, and Jay Gold. Appreciate you guys being on board with us here tonight. As always, head football coach Chris Parker and my co-host RJ Casey, who's he's wearing a protective layer.
We finally shamed him out of that stuff.
It's a little lighter these days.
He went through 3 razors, but he got it done. So he's a little bit more clean shaven.
You want to tell everyone out there why you shaved, RJ? You got like something you hadn't told us about? Is like got a date coming up or?
No, not really, but
if any of you are interested,
that's right. Yeah, he's single.
I like long walks on the beach and all that stuff. But
all right, ever since the reunion.
I know ever since that class reunion, I've been trying to get him.
Now,
so you're watching out there. He's a 10-0 co-host right now.
That's right.
It's the 10-0 edition, right, Dave?
That's right.
The 10-0 co-host
edition.
It's my video Tinder profile.
All right, you took it too far.
Going downhill.
You already took it too far. Let's start over. Take 2.
Yeah, there we go. Take 2. It is the undefeated Dragon edition, and congratulations, guys. Congratulations, Coach. You guys get it done over Lafayette the other night, 48-19. The final is the Dragons indeed complete the first ever 10-0 season in Pickens High School football history. And Ellie's here as well behind the camera. She's the one that counted us in tonight. And so we've got a good group of folks with us. And, Coach, first of all, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but let's talk a little bit about the game on Friday night. Obviously, you guys came in, you already wrapped up the region. That's certainly no question about that. But I know that this team, they're still hungry. They didn't want to, go into that last game and not go 10-0.
Right. Well, I thought that was important that the guys played hard. Lafayette actually much improved. I think they're 4-5 right now. But, from where they were a couple years ago, guys done a great job there. And they played hard, and we knew they would. They actually came out and took the lead on us. They scored. They got the ball first. They went down and scored. We kind of had to fight a little bit early. And I thought that was good for us. I thought we made plenty of mistakes, on offense, defense, and special teams. But, you got a good football team when, you feel like you didn't play that well, and all these guys will tell you, we kind of felt like we didn't really play that well in all 3 phases. And you look up, and it's 41-13 at halftime, and you hadn't played real well. So, that's not trying to brag. It's just saying that, we know we can be way better than we even were Friday. And what we found in the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks is that we feel like we've got a team that can compete with whoever. Right. So we're going in the playoffs knowing we're one of 32 teams in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what our record is now. That 10-0 was great, but now we're just one of 32 teams. You lose one and you're done. You keep winning, you play the next week. So, but we feel like we can compete with anybody. And, we had some really, really good wins in those last 3 or 4 games. Right. And then I thought Friday we actually had to earn one a little harder against a team that had nothing to lose and did a great job against us that we had kind of handled in the years past.
Sure.
We couldn't play up that revenge card like we did on all those other games. Right. So it was different, but I thought the guys played hard. There's not one play on the film where our guys aren't playing hard Friday. They did a great job of playing hard and doing what we asked them to do. It just wasn't going our way some, and so we all felt like we could have played better. Right. And so now we got 2 weeks to come out, and now there's no more chances to slip up or, we're all 0-0.
Right.
And you just win to try to be 1-0. You keep playing. You're 0-1. You're taking up equipment.
Absolutely, absolutely. They say the most dangerous team is a team with nothing to lose, and so Lafayette came in, obviously, on Friday night. That was basically their playoff. Right. You guys took their best shot. 4 takeaways, almost 400 yards of offense. You guys still played Dragon football. Yeah. It
was a wet field. We wanted to get some things in offensively that we hadn't been able to get in the couple games before. So, for me, I probably did a very average job calling the plays, trying to force some stuff in, and it probably stalled us out a little bit. And then defensively, we played really well, but there was 2 or 3 plays they made which got them some good yards to score. And then we made a few great plays on defense to get turnovers. But it was. Like I said, the best you could say about that game was, you're in right toward the end of the first half. You're feeling like you're not playing that well. I think the players felt like we weren't playing that well. And then you look up and it's 41-13. So, we still got a pretty good lead.
Right. And
still are winning the game, but it's just not the standard we wanted it to be. So, we got to come back to work. I think in a weird way it was good for us because, we've been able to use that this week, at practice and kind of refocus because you can't go into playoff games blowing assignments every now and then, just enough, because it might be the difference in, getting to play another week or not.
Sure. Let's hear from some of these players. Jay, let's start with you. Obviously, First of all, how big are you, man? If you don't mind sharing, I want the height and weight, man.
6'3", 340.
Okay, 6'3", 340. So just so you know. And Jay, these guys are sitting down, so they all look. I mean, we all look about the same size sitting. Well, maybe not.
Well, RJ and Jay look a lot. They look about the same size.
They do.
Yeah.
You know, shoulders and everything.
Right.
I mean, you put pads on this guy. No, but obviously, Jay, offensive line. We've talked a lot about you guys this year, and I know for being a lineman, you're a senior tackle. You know, you guys are the unsung heroes. You know, you don't always get your name called unless you jump off sides or make a mistake half the time. But talk about this unit as a whole, especially offensive line this year, and what you guys have been able to do.
Man, the offensive line, most of us are second-year players. Last year we were pretty young. I feel like we're a pretty strong offensive line. All of us squatted over 400 pounds at least. Chandler has a squat record, so pretty strong, working on getting movement off the ball, which helps.
Absolutely. And Chandler, we talked to you earlier in the year, making your second appearance, I guess, on the show.
Yes,
You've been here more than twice. I thought second time. Talk about, from your perspective. I mean, what are some things that you guys have worked on throughout the season to get better and better? 'Cause, I mean, it seems like every week you guys improve even more, especially looking at the stats.
Yeah, well, every day, we just get in there, we work hard. We can't really afford to take any off days now. So yeah, just working hard. Just like going over, like watching film, fixing the mistakes, and just getting ready for the next game.
Right, and hopefully these running backs and all these guys that you're opening up holes for are taking care of you guys. Hopefully they're thanking you guys, and giving you guys some props. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think a couple of them want to be my friends. So
okay, cool. That's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, they followed them on Instagram.
Really good. Because you know how those skill position guys are. I mean, they're divas, so it's good that they're wanting to associate with you guys that are doing all the work. But Aiden, let's hear from you, man. I know you've been on the show before too. Welcome back. And talk a little bit. Zach. He dyes his hair a little bit, does different things. But I like you. Just got the natural look, man. I like that. Just got the fade going on. Man. I like that. I like that. But talk about your play this year, the play of the offensive line as a whole, and what you guys have been able to accomplish.
Well, I've been hurt a few times this year, but Jay stepped in and done good, and we've all just been together, and like everything's just worked good.
Right. What is there anything in particular that you guys do? I know every group is a little bit different. I mean, offense is a group, defense, but even down to positions. I mean, obviously, offensive line, you guys are together and so forth. Is there anything that you guys do as an offensive line unit before a game to get fired up? I mean, is there anything in particular that y'all do or not?
Crunch, punch, and hunch.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach Sellers usually tries to give us a little speech after we run through our offense in the pregame warm-up.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I think he's done a pretty good job. Sounds like. It must be a pretty good motivator.
You know what they've done, Dave? These guys who all are good guys and they make a lot of jokes, and I like them. So I'll tell some jokes about them. But all jokes aside, one thing, the reason we're 10-0, as much as anything, is we've got a tremendous group of men, character-wise, and working hard at what we ask them to do. But also there is for our team and for our level, a lot of depth.
Right.
So we actually play 7 offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So most teams play 5 offensive linemen. So these are 3 of 7 people that you'll see in the game at different times. We'll go 2 tight ends. We put one of these guys at tight ends sometimes. Or Aiden's had to come out at times. Now one of our tackles. We really got 3 tackles.
Right.
The other 2 are in. We got 3 guards. Chandler will roll in sometimes at a guard, even though he's one of the best linemen in our region. He's going to roll in at times. So keep them fresh, ready to play in the fourth quarter. And we just got 7 guys who probably grade out good enough to start.
Right.
And only 5 can play at a time.
Right.
Michael Burrow goes in at quarterback for a couple plays, and it's not a whole lot different than what we do with CJ. If we got another kicker has to go in, we put another kicker in. That's really been the key for the season, honestly.
Right.
When things can derail your team with injuries or with somebody, whatever. There's some reason somebody's not out there.
Right.
It hasn't really been a big drop off. And
sure.
It's easy to call plays on offense when you got 20 players that can all play on offense, and you just have to piece them together.
Right.
At different positions. So, really proud of these guys. They've done a great job. And like Jay said, most of them have been doing the same stuff for a couple of years. I think we had 1 senior on the O-line last year. So of the top 7 or 8 guys, only one of them was a senior.
Sure.
So we got everybody back.
Right.
And on the offensive line, it's all about the age is important, their strength level is important, probably more than any other position.
Right.
And like Jay said, our top 7 or 8 O-linemen are all probably maybe 425, 445 plus squatters.
Right.
And these guys are probably all around 500 or more. So, all these guys are just strong. They're physical. They come off the ball, and they're very coachable. It's a good group of guys, and they're goofy like all offensive linemen are. But
when are we going to see the tackle eligible play one of these guys right here?
Well, see, Dave,
these guys got hands.
Well, see, here's how. Let me
first
tell you,
round of the playoffs.
let me tell you how it was going to go. I was going to call it in this first round game, but now Dave ruined it because they know it's coming. So now I'm going to say it's Dave's fault. I was
so
going
sorry,
to call
man.
it.
I'm telling you. So.
Maybe next time.
There we go. I want to ask you two guys real quick, and then we'll come back to RJ too, because I want to get your thoughts too, because I know you follow these guys, and you've named a lot of the offensive linemen as Player of the Week, and we're going to come back to that. But especially you two guys as seniors, Jay and Chandler, do you feel that added role as a leader? You know, being that senior, being that upperclassman, do you feel like there's that added responsibility for you guys for the rest of the team?
Yeah, because out of that 7 offensive linemen, there's just 3 seniors, which is me, Chandler, and Miles. So we just need to set an example and be a role model for as they come up next year for their senior year.
Right. These guys done a great job. One of the things, we've gotten a lot of people call me and want to interview us, and because we're winning, we get a lot of attention. That's how it goes. Of course, I get a lot of credit. Striker gets a lot of credit. He's a quarterback, but we try to. We try to paint the picture for these guys. We got people at AJC or GPBs today,
Right.
and they come in and they want you to paint a picture. Like, tell us about your team, coach. We know you're 10-0. We know you hadn't been. And, we talk to them about the depth. But I always start with, well, I've been here 7 years. This isn't something we came in and just decided this year we were going to work at football. And these guys, Chandler and Jay, but Aiden, of course, too, but Chandler and Jay being a little older, they really started in that, like when we really started doing it with the 7th graders and getting them in, and they were on that first little 7th grade team. So instead of doing Pickens County Middle School and Jasper Middle School, we went 8th grade and 7th grade and kept them together. And some people didn't like that at the time, but everybody likes it now. And the way it's worked out, we produced some guys who have been able to play for a long time. And so Aiden was right behind that on a group of guys that Aiden came in the 7th grade. And, we already knew we messed up a lot of stuff the first year. Aiden comes in the next year. He's the best lineman on the 7th grade team. We know who he is. We worked through him, and so I think when we're telling these people about our team, you kind of start with that.
Right.
That these 3 guys right here have been with us since, really at least, the 6th grade spring football, with us, with Coach Hunter, Coach Shaw, guys who work with us now, so that's kind of the key. People do come in and leave, and it's not always the exact same team.
Right.
But you got to start with those guys.
Sure.
And these guys have really worked their butts off to be where they are. They're going to tell a lot of jokes and act like it's no big deal. But they've worked hard, to be 7 deep on O-line. It's not Aiden's fault he got hurt here and there, and he's had to come out. But he's going to help the guy go right in.
Right.
And when Aiden can come back, they're going to be a team player, and they're all going to just work that out too.
Yeah.
We just have, when you've been with guys your whole life, which is what they probably feel like, it's not that hard to be unselfish.
Sure.
And
Right.
so we try to create that culture, from the 7th grade up, and really now I'd like to go even beyond that and go down to the elementary schools too. But that's really been a key for these guys, and that's the picture we're trying to paint to people who haven't ever seen us play and just want to know why we're 10-0 and what makes these guys special. And there's a lot of reasons.
Right.
But I think it should be commended that they've held in. From 7th grade to now, pretty much showed up every day.
Right.
Several months a year. Just getting better.
Sure.
And now people are noticing.
Right. Absolutely.
But they didn't notice them 2 and 3 years ago when they were doing the same work.
Exactly.
So.
Well, that's awesome. One of the many reasons why the Dragons are unbeaten, 10-0 on the season. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have RJ's FYN, Team FYN Sports Writer Player of the Week, and we'll have the RJ Casey Question of the Week as well. All that and more coming up on this week's edition of the Pickens Power Half Hour Dragon Talk. We want to thank our sponsors, as always, with us right here as part of our Team FYN Sports coverage. And want to remind folks to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us right here on this week's edition. Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellen, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
The model year end clearance rolls on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, and the discounts on 2018 Chevys are huge. Forget MSRP on America's pickup truck. Save over $13,000 off Silverado Crew Cab LT. Forget MSRP on America's muscle car. Save over $7,000 off Camaro. The model year end discounts are huge, but the 2018 Chevys are going fast. Hurry to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff. And welcome back again. Team FYN Sports and Johnny's New York Style Pizza here in Jasper proudly presents the Pickens Power Half Hour. It is Dragon Talk. It's Tuesday night, and we're talking about the 10-0 Pickens Dragons as they get set for round 1 of the state playoffs. Now, obviously, the Dragons with the bye week and the final week of the regular season for most teams. And if you're a team not going to playoffs, as you said, Coach, it's pretty much an early, equipment turn-in day. But if you're making the playoffs like the Dragons have for at least the last 5 years, then it really kind of comes, I guess, at a timely time because you've got an extra week to prepare for that first-round playoff.
Yeah, you got some guys, banged up. We've been fortunate we haven't had any major injuries, but we've got guys who have had little things, that keep them out for a couple days or they really need to rest. And so it's the greatest time of year to be off a week, I guess. You hate to lose some momentum that we've been playing 9 weeks in a row, playing pretty well. But 9 games in a row take a toll on you. It's been good to regroup this week, but then of course next week's game week, and it's it's a win or be done week. Right. So and that's exciting. That's the most exciting time of the year.
Here we go. RJ Casey in the house with us right here is my co-host, and let's talk a little bit about the Team FYN Sports Writer Player of the Week. Now we're talking about play calling different things, and it seems like every week you look at the numbers and this guy's throwing to this guy and so forth, and there's just a lot of guys involved on this team. As you said, with these guys sitting right here, there's 7 offensive linemen rotating in and out. RJ, you picked a player this week that was really involved on Friday night, a guy that pretty much got it done in all 3 phases.
Yeah, shows Michael Burrow. He threw a 15-yard touchdown pass on a trick play to CJ. And CJ was wide open. He probably could have just walked in.
That was a pretty well designed play on RJ.
It was a great design play. Whoever did that deserves a golf clap.
A Pepsi.
A Pepsi, yeah.
And then he got it done on defense as well. Had a 20-yard interception return for a touchdown as well, and he did it on the punting game as well. He punted twice, had one down in the 20-yard line, and he's done a good job when he's been called on the punt. And he's just done a good job doing whatever he's been asked to do, as most of these guys have done all year.
Absolutely. Michael Burrow definitely showing a lot of versatility on Friday night, and Coach, he's really shown that all year long. I mean, he's a very effective passer. I think he's thrown, 6 passes, half of them are touchdowns. So.
Michael's one of the best athletes he ever coached, honestly. He can do a little bit of everything. He's a great kicker. You know, he can punt. He can play quarterback, play running back, receiver. He can play defensive back. You know, he can kind of do anything. He can kind of he'll compete for the state championship in wrestling. You know, he's just a good athlete, and it's great to see, you know, guys that we can utilize in as many ways possible. Like I said, the way the team's been successful is people being unselfish and us being able to fit and put pieces together every week. So I'll move that thing over. Okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to do it. Luke like giving us hand signals. Where do you want it? Where do you want? Oh, we need eyesight with RJ.
Yeah. I'm trying to help you out, but
we gotta get that Tinder wrap or whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
There
we go.
But Michael is one of the key pieces to us being able to do whatever we want to do offensively or defensively, because he's so versatile. He can change his role from week to week. So every time he gets the ball, he gets the ball plenty as a regular running back or receiver, but he may throw it. He may be a trick play. It may not be. He's such a good player. We can move him around. So we got several of those guys, but he's definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
He's a very valuable guy for us.
And we've got Ellie in for segment 2 right here with us, our number 1 fan, number 1 Dragon fan with us here tonight, and also a 3rd grade student council president at Harmony Elementary. We've got to throw that in there as well.
Ellie told me this week, what's better than 10-0, Ellie?
11-0.
Perfect. Yeah. There we go. There we go. I like it. Good stuff. Let's throw it back to RJ, and we'll just jump right in. We do want to thank Johnny's Pizza here in Jasper, by the way, for feeding our players and coaches pregame meal. Appreciate all those guys being with us all year long. They've been fabulous. I mean, just going in, being able to, provide refreshments or whatever. They've pretty much done whatever we've asked them to do. So we do thank all the folks here at Johnny's. Pepsi is our show sponsor, drink sponsor, so they provide the refreshments for us as well. We appreciate those guys. RJ, let's talk about the question of the week. Now, this is something that's, we've been doing this every week now since you've been on here. And Coach, he's got some pressure for you tonight. You got to come with it tonight.
I thought you regressed a little bit last week.
Let's see what he's
got. Bring
got.
it back.
He's put some time into this one, though, I think. So.
Coach, you've got 2 weeks to prepare for the playoffs. As of now, you don't know who you're going to play. Can you tell the viewers out there who it might be next Friday and any tiebreaker or any situations that go on in that region?
Well, unfortunately, it could be about 4 different teams, but so we're not 100% sure. Some of those scenarios are more likely than others. But White County plays Blessed Trinity. If White County wins, they'll definitely be in. Denmark plays Flowery Branch. If Denmark was to beat Flowery Branch, Denmark would definitely be in. Flowery Branch would drop down to the 4th seed, which means they would play us. If Flowery Branch was to beat Denmark and Blessed Trinity was to beat White County, then it would come down to a game between Chestatee and West Hall. If Chestatee was to beat West Hall, then we would probably play Denmark. If Chestatee was to lose to West Hall, we would probably play White County because they would win the tiebreaker. Best I understand, unless there's something I don't understand. Because at that point, if all those things I just said happened and West Hall beats Chestatee, then you would have a 3-way tie for 1 place. And some people play a mini game like we did last year, but that region does not.
Right.
It's going to come down to point differential, and best I understand, White County will win that. So, most of the teams I named, I think most people are familiar with. Those are teams we either played in the past or even played this year. You talk West Hall, Flowery Branch. Those are teams that traditionally Pickens have played. Or you talk about Denmark and White County, who we played this year. Denmark in the scrimmage and White County in the game. So, so I think it'll be relatively a familiar opponent, which doesn't always happen in the first round of playoffs, but it does seem like it'll be that. And so you got to kind of let the games play out. I mean, I think the mistake a lot of people make is they just kind of figure so-and-so is going to beat so-and-so, and that's going to put it to this. But, it's high school football, and every team I just named is competing for the playoffs for a reason. Right. Not bad. And any of those scenarios, I guess, could happen.
Sure.
So what our job's been to prepare for. I hear you. Our job's to prepare for those teams, and we probably put the most emphasis this week on White County and Denmark. They're probably the most likely candidates.
Right.
But we also played them, so we kind of got some film. So but for the most part, we're in kind of spring football mode where we're just trying to get better at football right now.
Absolutely.
And then however they, because we don't know what they're going to do anyway. So, good question, Art.
Good question.
Way to redeem you. Much like how we did Friday night, we got to come out even better next time.
Now, before we get to players' questions for RJ, and that ought to be pretty interesting.
That ought to be pretty.
I want to ask you: do you approach the bye week any different with it falling before the playoffs, or is it pretty much just like it would be if it was in week 5?
Well, it's different in one aspect, and it's that you don't know who you play next.
Right.
I mean, I think, the schedule is similar. What we would be trying to get accomplished is similar. But what you normally do in a bye week, say it was in week 5, then you would spend about half of the time on just football fundamentals. Right. And about half the time, trying to get ready for the next team.
Right.
So, like, we played Pepperell the last time we had a bye week. We were playing Pepperell the next week. So, half the time was regular old football stuff, like spring football. And then half the time we'd mix in some Pepperell defense or offense. Obviously we can't do that.
Sure.
So, and it's late in the year. So, I mean, our guys know football. It's not like, we're not in the early stages. So, it's a little different because late in the year, but I guess the biggest difference would just be you can't mix in that little bit of, hey,
opponent preparation.
We're kind of just having to guess a little bit on that. So, we don't want to waste a bunch of time or energy. So, we basically just working on stuff that's going to be good no matter who we play.
Absolutely.
And then starting obviously Monday, we'll come back with a specific plan for these guys.
There we go. Well, I know you guys. I mean, obviously it's still up in the air out of Region 7, but I know you guys are focused on yourselves. And getting better as a football team. We talk a lot about it. A lot of times, the biggest opponent can be the man in the mirror, and so I know you guys have a lot of work to do, and appreciate you guys being here tonight. What about there's still plenty of football left to be played. Obviously, the season's not over with yet. I know you guys have that mentality. But looking back, I mean, what's been your favorite moment of the year so far? Through this 10-0 regular season, I mean, it has been a historic season. You guys are going to be able to look back in 20, 30 years when you get my age or older and say, hey, we were the first ever undefeated football team at Pickens. You'll be able to say that. Any moments that stand out in particular for you guys, as a team or as individuals?
For me, I think the best moment was being in Northwest Whitfield. I think we played probably our best game all year against Northwest Whitfield. After that game, I think we all just felt like we're going to give Ridgeland a big run for their money in this next game.
Yeah. Chandler, how about you?
Man, I think I can't really, just think of like one thing that stood out to me. Just this whole season has been awesome.
Right.
It'll be a great season, to in my high school career with. So yeah, and just like you said, I'm excited to tell my kids maybe one day that we set records.
Absolutely, yeah. And Aiden, you're a junior, so you still got another year to go. But what about your memories this year?
My favorite was probably getting to take that knee against Ridgeland, get that dub.
There you go. Absolutely, victory
that was probably
formation,
my favorite.
man.
Yeah.
That was definitely. Well, now that you guys are a little warmed up, we got a couple minutes left here. Have y'all thought of a good question for this guy right here sitting next to me?
Yeah, I got the duty for that. So
you're representing all three. There's not three.
Okay, very
go
good.
ahead.
All right.
So, how does it feel to accompany us on this 10-0 season and this record-breaking season? What is it from your perspective?
It's been the most rewarding thing that I've ever had to be the privilege of being a part of. Just seeing the growth of all of you guys from not just when Coach Parker got here to where it is now and where it has been. I'm really, really fortunate to be a part of it.
And that says a lot because you've been around a lot of moments.
Yeah.
I mean, football, a lot of different sports.
I think one of the things I said earlier, we try to paint a picture to these other outlets now that we're getting all this extra attention. And, and everybody wants to know what it's like to win the region and go undefeated or whatever. And one thing I have said many times, and you may have seen this in some of these articles, is, it was awesome for me to win. It was awesome for me to see these guys win. But really, honestly, it's even a little extra special to see so many people in Pickens County who've been here now for 7 years, including RJ, how excited it was for them, how important it was for them. I mean, I know we are at practice every day. We do all the work. I know that. But some of these people that were in the stands and some of these people that were on the booster club 7 years ago or people like RJ who've just been there and they've always been supportive of us, just to see the level of like genuine excitement they had was something you wouldn't get if you were in Cobb or Fulton or Cherokee. And I love those places. I worked there, but you just would, it's not, you don't have that same like attachment to the school and the place. And so I actually think these guys don't even really quite understand because they're young and they wouldn't, and I wouldn't if I was their age. They're just trying to win football games. But now that I'm older, you know, just how excited some of these people are for them that they've never even met. You know, that just how happy they are for them and proud of them they are. And, you know, RJ's one of them. You know, I mean, been here watching every game. If we went 0-10, RJ'd be right there with us cheering on, you know. He's not cheering on because we're winning. But he's finally got to see, you know, probably never thought he'd get the opportunity to see a team, you know, win every game and win the region. And so, you know, it's exciting. That's a neat part of it that you don't even really think about when you're planning a game or planning the season. You just kind of see it happening, and it's a good moment. So, as much as I give RJ a hard time on the show, you know, we're glad he's a part of it. He's done a good job with us. Now, you know, we're 10-0, so we'll be done whenever we feel like it. So you can have up all the numbers you want. That's how it works now. You tell Mr.
That's
Pritchard.
right. Yeah, that's right.
But so now I'm gonna ask them a question.
Go for
Let me
it.
see. I got to think of a good one. Yeah, they're kicked back over there now. We don't get this many linemen on here very
I was
often.
going to say, yeah.
They don't get much publicity. This is their time. They love to complain that nobody likes them or nobody gives them publicity, but here they are. So tell the people out there, tell them what are some of the things you enjoy the most about the team, or you've enjoyed the most that doesn't involve winning the football game. Like the same question he asked you, but you can't say beating somebody.
Man, I think it's just fun hanging around all the teammates. We always have fun in the locker room. We have slip and slides.
Really? Okay. Yeah, there you go.
We're not going to talk about
We
it.
dance in the locker room. It's just fun to be around everyone.
Yeah. How about you, Chandler?
Yeah, kind of like the same thing. You know, Coach Parker said we've been together since like 7th grade, so it really is like our second family.
Right.
So, you know, just hanging out like outside of school and just like doing like stupid high school things, like it's just a great time.
Absolutely. How about you, Aiden?
I was thinking the same thing Jay was thinking. That I've been hanging out with them since I was like in middle school and stuff. That's just been like my family.
The reason I asked that question, and we'll leave, is I think so many times people that don't know any different or better would assume we got a bunch of robots out there playing football, that we zapped some football knowledge into or told them what to do, playing Madden or something. Like I just tell them a play and they just robotically go do it. You know, it doesn't work like that. These guys are humans. They mess up all the time. They're just regular kids. They just happen to have committed to football, and some of them are bigger guys, and some of them are, you know, have worked to develop a certain type of body or a certain, but they're just regular old high school kids who even if they were 5-5 right now, we would care about them the same, but they just wouldn't be getting much attention. But they come together every day. I know when you watch the University of Georgia play, you watch them on Saturday and then you forget, and 7 days later you see them again and forget that between that, those guys have been together the whole time just trying to get a little better. And, you know, and it really is like a family. And, you know, being a family, we've had some ups and some downs, and, you know, we've dealt with some very serious stuff in the last few years. You know, we've had teammates pass away. We've had, you know, we've had 10-0 season. I mean, we've had a lot of stuff happen. But we use this forum, now that I'm 10-0 and everybody has to listen, to remind people that, you know, these are just some good boys. They're not perfect, but some good boys that have now done something special that they can remember. But that, you know, what happens to me off the field, and when somebody asked me what I would remember, it would actually not be this game. It was really cool to win for y'all, for you, but I actually usually remember like going to practice and watching them in the weight room some, or just some regular mundane stuff that nobody else would care about when nobody was watching them and they're just trying to work, you know, just trying to get better. So really proud of these guys. I know next week we're going to try to do something with all the seniors if we can, next Tuesday, and I think that's a great idea. But it's just, you know, it's been a great opportunity to be with these guys, be their coach. And truthfully, this is true every year. People just listen when you're 10-0.
Right, yeah.
You know, but the truth is, it's always been great to be with these guys. You know, when the teams that didn't win as much, it was great being with them too. Good boys, worked hard. You know, deal with us. Sometimes you don't see that piece of it. Of just a regular high school athlete, you see a big dude with a Letterman jacket on or something. You kind of think it's a certain way, but it's just not true. Proud of these guys. Proud of what they've been able to accomplish, and hopefully, you know, we got a couple more Dragon Talks coming. You know,
That's right.
Because we'd like to keep playing as long as we could.
Absolutely. Congratulations, guys. And, you know, RJ, I mean, talking about keeping our bodies, I mean, I'm glad that they follow us and our philosophy in keeping our bodies the way they are. So
well, you notice I brought the guys today that made me look small. I've been eating too much Johnny's Pizza.
We do appreciate Johnny's for feeding these guys because they do a great job. Coach, congratulations. Guys, congratulations on a great season. Still plenty more football left, so hopefully we will see you guys down the road. And as Coach said, next Tuesday we will have a special edition of Dragon Talk featuring the seniors, so you'll definitely want to tune in for that. For everyone at Team FYN Sports and for Johnny's New York Style Pizza, Pepsi, our drink sponsor as well, for Coach Chris Parker and for RJ Casey, my co-host, all of our guests here tonight, and Luther Kinsey, our director and producer. I'm Dave Garner saying so long, everyone. We'll see you next week right here. You've been watching the Pickens Power Half-Hour Dragon Talk right here on FYN TV and Team FYN Sports. We'll see you next week.